From the home of the 12s, they raised the banner just a moment ago. We are set for football at Lumen Field here a mile south of downtown Seattle. Straight ahead, we've got a pretty good one on tap here, as it'll be the New Orleans Saints taking on the Seattle Seahawks.
Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, kickoff moments away. Quickly, what are you watching in this one?
The offensive line for both teams, because both teams have a terrific pass rush. They've got to keep their passers upright. If they have a chance to do that, they can both thrive on offense and move the ball downfield.
Just about set for football. Blake Grupe is ready to get us started.
And off we go from Seattle.
And he won't quite make it to the 25.
So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. Under center will be the Southern California native standing at 6'4", Sam Darnold.
And I know that last year in 2024, New York Jets fans were watching him and saying, that's the guy we thought we were going to get. But he found his groove in Minnesota, finishing the top 5 in passing yards and touchdowns last year. Now in Seattle, ready to prove that last season was no fluke.
They'll run. It's Kenneth Walker.
And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it second and a foot or so.
Sticking with Walker on second down.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They go backwards there 2 yards, and 2nd and 1 is now 3rd and 3.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuck that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
First and 10 at the 42-yard line.
I don't care how many times we say it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Darnold from the gun. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Darnold, he can beat you in a number of ways, and there the scramble for the first.
That's the first time he's called his own number, but he's got to be overjoyed with the results. He wasn't just going to settle for a modest gain. To me, he was determined to come through with a big message to a defense that slept on him in the pocket.
Walker now on 1st and 10.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
And that one complete downfield to Cup.
And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. That's good for a first down, his 2nd catch of the opening drive.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage, and here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
Up the middle they run. it's Walker. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
On running plays, linemen, of course, have their assignments. That's expected. But it's not often you're expecting to see a cornerback blitzing in run support and tackling the runner for a loss.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Darnold. Over the middle, and there's a diving catch. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal.
That's good for a Seahawks. First down. 1st and goal at the 5-yard line.
And not all spectacular catches are the result of a pass that maybe was not thrown quite right. Sometimes it's thrown in the perfect spot, and you have to just go get it. And he did that right there.
No fear there in the middle of the field. And that one going to come up short. Low throw.
That one came up just a little bit short. I'm wondering, is he still a little bit tight as this game starts? What would you say? Maybe he's got to take the governor off of it?
Or maybe the donut off the baseball bat like the guys in the on-deck circle?
I like that. Yeah, just take that little extra weight off of him and start to play freely.
Here's Darnold. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line.
No surprise there. Chase Young wrecks that play with a sack.
And on 2nd and goal, they decide to throw it again, and this result is even worse. They take a sack. On 1st down, it was simply an incomplete pass. Not a good first 2 plays, beginning with 1st and goal.
A very lengthy opening drive as this will be play number 12 coming on 3rd and goal. The shotgun snap for Darnold. Under pressure, they got him again.
Brian Brzee fought in and got him down.
Well, it's about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. On comes the Seahawk kicker here on 4th down. It's Jason Myers. This just a 35-yard attempt from the left hash. Myers' kick is good. And the Seahawks grab a 3-0 lead.
And all in all, a pretty decent opening drive, Charles. Pretty balanced. They had the passing game going and the rushing attack, too.
I would think they have to be happy with that start because you get your ground game going, which means your offensive line and your runners are pretty happy, and then you get your aerial attack going as well, so your quarterback and receivers have smiles on their faces. Now both up to speed, awaiting their next possessions for this game. They can't wait to get started again.
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return.
So here come the Saints now for their first drive. And they will be led out by their 2nd-year quarterback.
I tell you what, when he's on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
Got a man, and he hits him in stride.
Now a timeout here, at least for the moment. Looks like one of the Saints is injured, shaken up on that last play. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. Second down and 3. Throwing is Rattler. There's Chris Olave.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 14 yards is the pickup. First down, New Orleans.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
They'll throw. Here's Rattler. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. The sack recorded. It's a loss of 5, and now it's second down.
In every game, we talk about what are going to be the keys as we go into it. Maybe that's a key for their defense today. Pressure the quarterback and make sure you play a good zone defense behind them, and they get their first sack of the contest.
Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. To the air is Rattler. And Cooks has it over the middle. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
Rattler wants to throw it. That is caught. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A big play that time on the catch and run. And it'll result in a fresh set of downs. Well, they clearly wanted to come out, Charles, and be aggressive throwing the football, and they've been pretty efficient along with that aggressiveness. He's now 4 of 4 on this opening drive.
Yeah, and that's led to a fresh set of downs. I like what he's doing back there. You can tell he's at ease, feels good about what he's doing. I think if I'm the play caller, I'm reading that and continuing to let him throw the football.
And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down. Rattler working out of the gun. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. An 8-yard touchdown run. And the Saints have answered that early field goal to take a first-quarter lead.
Well, I'd have to say that for him, that was an all-encompassing drive because it was his arm that got his team down to that point, but his legs that finished the deal. Give him credit for making it happen.
Blake Groupie now for the extra point. He's got it. They'll see that opening drive field goal and raise it a touchdown, and that makes it 7-3. After the touchdown, here's Groupie to kick this one away. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their second drive. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal, and I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out-and-out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So they'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points.
Yeah, maybe wore down the other defense. We'll see. It was Cameron Jordan who came in and got him. That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
A play fake, and it's Darnold. That is incomplete.
But they certainly came out firing in this one, and while that one was incomplete, I can't imagine that'll be the last shot that they take in this game.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. In motion goes the tight end. From the gun on third down, here's Darnold. Going up top for Kupp. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down.
They geared up and took the deep shot downfield, but it turned out it wasn't one-on-one coverage. Extra defenders in the area, and that one winds up incomplete.
On fourth down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon.
Deep for New Orleans is Rashid Shaheed.
Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. So first and 10 now from the 30. The first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
That's a really good gain right there. They pick up 5 yards halfway to a first down. The only problem now in the huddle, everyone's going to want to touch the football. Be a lot of chattering now because they've seen that they can move the line of scrimmage.
Ball on the 35. Here comes second and 5.
They run it again with Kamara. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be third down.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Here's Rattler. Pass taken in by his big tight end. Big strides, look at him go.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans.
Juwan Johnson,
65 yards.
and the Saints are able to add on to that lead.
When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call, but he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
Groupie for the extra point.
And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it all culminates in a Saints touchdown.
After the touchdown, here's Groupie to kick this one away. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The Seattle now ready to march out of the field.
These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field.
Oh, Darnold loses it. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it.
And they are going to take possession of the football inside the 15 at the 14-yard line. The pocket collapsed around him. I know we talk about it a lot, but a QB has to have that sixth sense, doesn't he?
He really does, and I know of one team at one point was training their quarterback with that time frame, and anytime he didn't get rid of the ball within the right amount of time, they would blow a horn or blow a whistle to show him this is what that time is, just what you're talking about, training him to understand this is the amount you have, make sure the ball's gone. Didn't happen in this case.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Now Rattler.
And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, 1st down.
At the 3-yard line.
I can't be sure how much of that was planned pre-snap, but it certainly opens up some avenues for their offense. And if he can stay a threat to break off those kind of runs, it'll pull defenders away from coverage and open up some choice throwing lanes for him moving forward.
They're going to look to throw.
He'll find Shaheed out to the right.
He'll get only 2 there, and it's 2nd and goal.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. Kamara. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal.
It's a quarterback sneak, and he is over the line for another rushing touchdown.
Is he a quarterback or is he a tailback?
The sneak successful from a yard out, and the Saints are able to extend their lead. Boy, still in the 1st quarter, and look out. I mean, they are on pace for over 80 points in this game. I don't know that they'll get there, CD, but this has been impressive to watch so far.
That certainly would be history in the making, wouldn't it, partner? I'm glad we're here to actually watch and see if it actually happens, although, like you, I have my doubts, but they are firmly in control of this game.
Groupie able to add the PAT.
And the lead is up to 18 now.
After the touchdown, here's Groupie to kick this one away. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
And Seattle now ready to march out of the field.
Last time out, they had the fumble. That led to the touchdown. Not a great look on either side of the ball as the defense gave up the points too, Charles. But they've got to take care of the football and do better here on this possession.
It's certainly been a tough stretch, partner, for both of those units, and they kind of put their defensive mates in a really tough spot there by dropping the ball on the ground. But an easy way to make it up to them, get out there now and get some points on this drive.
That'll be caught. It's Cup. And all the way down to the 10-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 65 yards.
Seahawks, 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 10-yard line.
21-3 is your score after 1. Second quarter now from Seattle, and it is the Seahawks with the football here. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Walker with it. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. And that's a gain of 6 on the 1st down run.
Good yardage there on 1st down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
Now off the bootleg, Darnold. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawks touchdown.
Cooper Kupp from 3 yards out. And the Seahawks get a bit closer.
And down near the goal line here, they're able to throw it in.
And the key word, quick. Quick hitter. Out of his hands fast, into the receiver's hands even faster.
Jason Myers now for the extra point. It's up and good, and the lead is down now at 11. It's 21-10. So a 75-yard scoring drive on just 3 plays.
And it ends with Cooper Kupp on the receiving end of the touchdown pass.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans.
Right now, everything they touch turns to gold. This is their 4th possession. Touchdowns on their first 3 possessions. I mean, this defense, they can't seem to stop them. It's like they're on skates.
Great analogy, Brandon, because they are pushing them back and winning everything at the line of scrimmage. They've just been laying down tracks towards the opposite end zone. So to themselves, all they're saying is, if we don't make a mistake, there's no way they can stop us.
Off the play fake, it's Rattler. There's a short one caught by Johnson.
His second catch, this one not quite as dynamic as his first, and it's second down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. And they just did not get the snap away in time.
Delayed game, offense.
Penalty accepted, and that pushes him back 5.
Still second down.
From the shotgun, Rattler.
And that's complete to Cooks. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
He's going to try and take off with it.
And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. Give him 4 yards there on the first down keeper.
Typically on the read option play, when we talk about responsibilities, we're talking about what the quarterback has to go through. How about the inside linebacker, though? His job on this play, shadow the quarterback and hold him to a short gain. Did it to perfection.
And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a halt. They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down.
I certainly like what he did right there because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit, and he gets a small gain on the play.
There's a short one to the tight end, Johnson. And he is going to have a Saints first down, I do believe. Yes, he's got it by about a yard there on 3rd and 3.
First down, New Orleans.
At first glance, I thought he just used his size in order to win the route, but he also had a little subtle move in there as well. Made the defender think he was going one direction and was able to track the ball in another.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10.
And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. 2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's 2nd down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. A yard in the wrong direction makes 3rd down tougher. 3rd down and 9.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the first half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
On 3rd down, here's Camaro. And they'll get this across the midfield stripe, but still winding up short of the 1st down. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
It's now 4th down.
They'll go. Here's Rattler. Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And he's got this down to the 35. A big pickup of 12 yards on 4th down to keep this drive from stalling. That was a pretty good job by the defense, I thought, right? I mean, they had to go to their check down, but still were able to get it done for the 1st.
Agreed. Anytime you can force them to come back to a receiver that's a little bit shorter in the route, you've done your job on defense, but still, they pick up the 1st down and get a fresh sack.
Huge 4th down conversion.
Tackled by the cornerback, Josh Jobe. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
2nd and 6.
And he couldn't square up to throw there, and it falls incomplete.
Defensively, celebration time because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, they didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now, and that's how he wants to continue to throw the ball.
Rattler going to look to throw again.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Multiple players getting home for the 1-yard sack. And this is a quarterback who's already had success on the ground in this first half, but this time they're able to hem him in.
And it's always different when you rush a mobile quarterback as opposed to a guy you know will be right back in the pocket. In this case, you got to make sure the inside pressure and the outside pressure match, and maybe even a second wave to make sure if he squirts free, you've got someone to tackle him.
Here's Blake Groupie now for the Saints field goal.
On the left hash, this from 48 yards. And this one is right through. And the lead grows to 14 at 24-10. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue because, you know, after the sack, there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
So after the field goal, back out is Groupie to send this one away. And able to get this out to the 25. Get a look at this offense led by Cooper Kupp as they make their way back onto the field.
Making his presence felt early in this one. First half, already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there. Number of catches, but he's shredding defenses, getting big yardage with each and every one of them.
Looking to put a drive together.
Hands it to Walker to begin the series.
And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold.
This one goes underneath to Walker.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
Now Darnold keeps it.
And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
They pick it up on 3rd and 1 on the quarterback sneak, and that's not easily done because there are extra bodies in there on the defensive side, and they're moving forward at the snap.
Yeah, I was certainly expecting a handoff, weren't you?
Yeah, I totally was. I thought they'd go with a back, maybe try and get a lead blocker in front. But as you talk about in different games, those guys with confidence in their offensive line, they just want to move forward and get it.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That one goes for 24 yards.
1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
And a nice job by the two of them to not only connect on the pitch and the catch, but to carry over their practice work to the game field. They saw the adjustment by the defense, made an adjustment themselves, and picked up the first down.
And a pretty good run there as he gets 7 down at the 33.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Here's a 2nd and 3 now from the 33.
Darnold now to throw.
Smith and Jigba with the ground.
And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 22-yard line. 11 yards for number 11.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
He finds his man complete. It's Horton. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
Throw out wide to Walker.
Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. And the ball situated at the 9. 2nd and goal. Now Darnold. This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. They get only a yard there. Now it's 3rd and goal.
You don't see too many pass-catching fullbacks nowadays, partner. In fact, you don't see too many fullbacks, period.
Good news, though, he does have decent hands, and we saw it right there on display.
Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal.
Again, Darnold. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts.
So as they talk it over, we step aside.
So on 4th down, here's Jason Myers for the Seahawk field goal. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. Myers' kick is good. And that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11.
So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
And now the Saints get set to trot out there. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Well, you don't turn your nose up at a gain of 4, do you? They'll take that on first down. Playbook's got to be pretty well open on 2nd and 6.
2nd and 6. Throwing is Rattler. Finding Johnson on the out route. That's complete.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run because we envision them in offenses, catch the ball. How much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup. He lets it go deep for Olave. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top, unsuccessfully.
They'll throw. Here's Rattler. Finding Alvin Kamara for the completion.
And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. As the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
So after the run by Kamara, now another 1st and 10.
To the air is Rattler. There's a short one caught by Johnson.
And out of bounds right around the 20. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play. And it'll be 2nd down.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end.
Now 2nd and 3. Rattler wants to throw it.
Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line. Jaron Reed muscles his way in for the sack. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. He hit his first. Now this from 43. And his kick here is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So a late 3 there, and that'll help as they head into the break.
Talk about situational football and something they've worked on since the OTAs and mini camps the previous summer. They take care of the ball, get 3 points, knowing they're going to get the ball to start the second half. That's the old 2-for-1 special to finish things off.
So still time for the kickoff here. 1 second to go in the half as this one is away.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. 1 second, all that remains. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So halftime here out west. Let's go east. That's where we find Scott Hanson with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks much. Welcome in, everyone, to the downtown Orlando studios. Scott Hanson and crew with you for a short and sweet halftime, as this game's had a little bit of everything to it. We'll find out which side can establish some tempo in the third quarter as we're ready to kick off the second half. Back out to our commentary team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Scott, thank you very much. We are ready to get started here with the second half. Set now to go for the third quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. Looking to put a drive together. They'll bring the tight end in motion right here. They'll fake the give, and here's Rattler. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down.
His running ability has been an extra dimension of their game plan thus far. For once, though, he doesn't create any magic against the front that's prepared for him to try and take off.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. He'll drop to throw. Now he's flushed out left. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. A nice pickup there, 10 yards.
There he goes, and for good reason. Running with it has paid dividends earlier in this game and earlier on this drive. And until they prove they can stop him, I don't think he's going to be shy about continuing to run for first downs instead of airing it out.
They'll look to throw now on first down.
There's a short one to the tight end, Johnson.
Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
And they'll come up 2nd and 7.
A give to Kamara running right. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
From the gun, here's Rattler.
He's going to float this one deep right side. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
That's some good closing speed there defensively, because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
Here comes the Saints punter now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the third. .44-yard punt, return of 9. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Get a look at this offense led by Cooper Kupp as they make their way back onto the field. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Here's Walker to start the drive. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. Just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Call it a gain of 3 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Darnold. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. First target, first catch, and a first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to, pick up a first down.
From the 50, it's Darnold. Setting up the screen here. This is Walker. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks.
Well, they've certainly had their share of troubles running the football in this one, but this play is almost an extension of the running game right here. They set up the screen, let him work out in space on the perimeter, and he turns it into a big pickup.
The shotgun snap for Darnold. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
Now it's 2nd and 10. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. They'll try for the first with Walker. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this 3rd quarter as he'll go for it on 4th down. They snap it. They're going for it. Here's Darnold being chased out left. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. Wow, 1st and goal, and defensively all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well.
This is where the NFL is headed year by year, partner. A league where just about everyone has someone under center who can get you with their legs as well as their arm. And we've certainly had a nice display of that from both QBs in this game, and that continued with that first down run.
To throw is Darnold. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Walker. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll go as a loss on the play. Not what you need down here. It's going to be 2nd and goal. I don't know how well our microphones are picking it up for those of you at home, but Charles, you and I can hear it. A lot of groans right now coming from this crowd.
I don't know if we're picking up what's happening in the stadium or from the people who are supporting this team at home, because it's coming through loud and clear to you and me. This offense,
wreaking havoc was Nathan Shepard, the D tackle. This defense, they just continue to feast. 5 sacks now as a unit. It's been quite an afternoon getting to the quarterback.
and we're seeing it come from a variety of places as well. Sometimes just the guys up front and getting to them. Other times you add extra guys rushing the quarterback, twists and stunts. It's been a variety, and they've had no way of blocking them.
From the 15 now after the sack. It's 3rd and goal. Here's Darnold. That's taken in by Arroyo. That time 12 yards on the pass play, but still shy of where they needed to go. 4th and goal.
Nice job understanding the situation. 3rd and long, kept the play in front of them and made the tackle. They gave up a good chunk of yardage, but it does force a 4th down.
Now here's Jason Myers. He gets set for the Seahawk field goal. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. Myers' kick is good. And that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11. So his 3rd field goal of the ball game brings him a bit closer, but there's no question they need to start turning some of these 3s into 6s.
And 7s and probably even 8s. You know, as a kicker, you just head out when you're called upon, so he's done his job. It's the rest of the offense that needs to get it in gear. They want to close this gap.
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The New Orleans offense set to take over. The 3rd quarter has not been kind to them. After they built that lead at intermission, they've seen that lead shrink.
And how much of that is simply execution? How much of that is maybe you lose your edge a little bit because you've got a lead? And you do have to credit the other team some because they've made some adjustments to start to slow them down. Can they find those counters now, those extra plays or plays they haven't run that'll be effective and get them back moving again?
They'll be looking for something here, anything to seize that momentum back. Here's Rattler. They'll get this out to Kamara. That'll go for a gain of 7, and it's 2nd down.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
From the 33, here's 2nd down and 3. Now Rattler steps away to his left. They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down.
Kudos for the defense from me on that one because they were prepared the whole way for him to try to escape and hit them for more yardage running it. I like the way they stayed zeroed in on him and kept him contained when he pulled the ball down. I think he was fortunate to get what he did on that run.
They'll go with a keeper. And he is going to have a Saints 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I don't know about you, but I like this call. 3rd and inches, and instead of worrying about getting it back to a running back and maybe there's some penetration from the defensive front, just go ahead and take it, move forward, and pick up the 1st down.
And as we say often, shows confidence in your offensive line. Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
Ball on the 40 now. Here's 2nd down and 7. Now he'll try to run with this. And holding it may be the wrong decision as he's stopped in the backfield. It goes as a loss of 6. And now 3rd down. Well, he's had success running the football in this one. That's undeniable. But that time, the defense was on to it.
And, partner, I think the more you see a play like this, the more they're able to diagnose it quicker and easier for them to defend it. I think you have to dress it up a little bit and show maybe some different formations and looks.
And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
Here comes the Saints punter now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. Here's Horton. It's a return of 5 following a punt of 42 yards. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Seahawks offense had Cooper Kupp making their way back out. And he was pretty much unguardable in that first half. You see the numbers there as they try to add to him here in this third quarter. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Here's Darnold. Outright to Smith-Njigba. Now he's got this almost to the 40 before going out. It's a gain of 12, 1st down Seahawks.
1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
And he is going to lose yardage here. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for 2nd down.
At the 35-yard line.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Seahawks with possession of the football, but they do trail here to begin quarter number 4. Back to throw, Darnold. A quick pass to Kupp. Call it a gain of 6 on the play. And 3rd and 8 now.
I think as he began this throw, you saw that the area was congested, but he has a lot of confidence in his arm, and he fits that one in there nicely. They pick up the catch, not much yardage afterwards.
Now flags, and we're going to get a delay of game.
Delay of game, offense.
Of course, that flag accepted, and it backs the ball up 5 yards.
Still 3rd down.
After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long. Now it's Darnold. And that will be incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed. unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good.
The Saints offense and Spencer Rattler getting ready for this next possession. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes, and he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the...
He's got a man, complete. A big-time play there for New Orleans. 41 yards.
First down, New Orleans.
And this is seemingly how it's been all game long. This defense has been just a step too slow. And here they're burned again. Another big play.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10, right at the 40. A 10th carry for Kamara. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. Give him maybe a yard, quite the opposite from the previous big gainer.
Here now, 2nd and 9 from the 39-yard line. From the shotgun, Rattler.
And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive, not much sense. Back to throw. And that will be incomplete. They weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Going for the knockout blow right there. I think if I'm up 2 scores, I'd be worried about an interception, but playing this way is what got them this lead. So you may as well ride it out to the end.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field.
Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news, but this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner.
Looking to put a drive together.
They'll run with Walker to begin the drive. And they'll get to him quickly here as he'll get a yard, just a yard to the 22.
Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
One thing you hope to see out of a rookie tight end is a real concentration when the ball's in the air, and I'm not sure that he didn't, but he has to be prepared for people making a play on it when that ball's up for grabs.
Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. And this one is incomplete.
Give him big credit for his coverage right there, because when he saw the route break deep, he stayed in position to prevent a completion while avoiding any risk of a flag.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. And it's fielded at the 34. That'll be a 43-yard punt, but a net of just 33 following a 10-yard return. And that will come the offense as they take over. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45. The tight end in motion right. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Good push from the offensive line, and they've done well so far to build this lead. Now, they've got to get things to the finish line, and that's a solid pickup there to begin the drive.
They'll go play action here with Rattler. There's a short one caught by Johnson.
Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a 1st down.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because, to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
Kamara up the middle. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
I'm sure that that's going to be the formula. Just keep the ball on the ground. Keep that clock moving.
And when you have the lead this late in the game, above all, stay in bounds. Yes, take care of the football. Yes, gain yardage, but stay in bounds and let that clock tick.
2nd down, it's Kamara again. And a good-looking run there as he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18-yard line. 48 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
I guess he was saving his best for last, so to speak. Longest run of the day coming here in the 4th quarter right there.
And that type of run makes for a better night for him and his teammates, doesn't it? To be able to produce this late in the game can lead to some big smiles and satisfaction in the locker room after this one's over.
Even with the good move he showed, he'll be brought down short of the 15. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
They work now on 2nd and 9. Rattler working out of the gun.
And that's complete to Cooks. So they'll get 8 out of that completion. And now 1 yard to go on 3rd down. They'll try and sneak it here. And he'll be touched down here, but not before he does pick up the 1st. Give him 2 on the play there. And the Saints are set up now with a 1st and goal.
It's been a good drive so far. They just wanted to keep it going, so they call low-risk, low-reward play. No one's worried about picking up big yardage here. Quarterback sneak, keep the chains moving, and pick up another 1st down.
Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
Well, this defense knows, they're well aware that they're down 2 scores, and they figure this is pretty much their last chance. They know if they give up a touchdown here, that ends it. Nice job on 1st and goal to push them the other way, but they have to be thinking takeaway right here.
Throwing is Rattler.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Taking it in from 7 yards away.
And the Saints have pretty well put it away here in the 4th quarter.
Defensively by now, you know his ability. You know he has it in him to take off and run.
Yeah, because they knew coming into this game, but we've already seen examples in this contest that he can run the football.
I think they're going to examine different ways to rush him now. Are they going to do it with different lanes? Are they going to use a spy? But they have to come up with options because right now, he's hurting them.
Here's Groupie for the PAT.
And the lead is up to 18 now. That time, a 9-play drive. And the capper that put it in the end zone, a run of 8 yards.
After the touchdown, here's Groupie to kick this one away. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line.
And out now come the Seahawks.
Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10.
Looking to put a drive together. Darnold now to throw. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Chase Young getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
Well, collectively as a defense, Charles, I think if you get 4 sacks a game, you're feeling really good. Now they have 6 as a unit.
And that type of a number is just staggering because there's so many ways to try and counteract it. But in this case, they've got no answers for this unrelenting pressure coming at their quarterback.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Now Darnold.
And that's to the left sideline and incomplete.
Down several scores and playing behind the chains is not the way to have success in this one. Right now, if you're the offensive line, your big concern, protecting your quarterback and give him a chance to try and throw something downfield to pick up the needed yardage.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This will be 3rd and 15. Looking to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
As this old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. He's going to float this one deep right side. He's got a man complete. And no reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
Well, give them credit. They're going to stay and fight this out to the end. 4th down, you've got to go for it. And they not only convert, but pick up some good yardage as well.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41. Darnold to throw again.
Left side, he finds Smith and Jigba.
And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Add this game to the last one, and they move the ball over 50 yards in 2 plays.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should.
Chase Young. Who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Now back to throw. And this is caught. Touchdown, Seahawks.
Kenneth Walker,
33 yards.
And the Seahawks have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. Well, they needed 3 scores to have any chance. There's the first of the 3 as they get into the end zone.
Yeah, Brandon, I think that our guys at Next Gen Stats in charge of the win probability are probably saying your chances still aren't great. But now, you still got more than 3 minutes to go. You got to focus on the task at hand, which is going to be getting the football back as quickly as possible.
Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call.
On the field stands.
3 points are huge. Make that mistake. Make that catch.
The extra point now coming from Myers. And that one makes this an 11-point deficit now. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it was Kenneth Walker who finished things off with a touchdown catch. Two scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Saints hands team able to rein this one in. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie. A man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Kamara again. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Ernest Jones there for the tackle.
And for the defense, this is a spot where you don't want to totally sell out to stop the run, but you do have a pretty good idea of what you're going to see. And that's good work right there to keep them in check on that first down carry.
Now the play clock hits 0 here, and we're going to get a delay.
Delay of game.
Well, the offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted.
Still second down.
They'll throw. Here's Rattler. That's to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete.
No receivers open, so he was forced to put that one into Puget Sound. That's a great job defensively blanketing those receivers, and ultimately, a smart idea by him just to get the ball out of there.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. To the air is Rattler. He'll fire one end zone for Cooks. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender. Couldn't create space, couldn't uncover the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
Here comes the Saints punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. The Seahawks offense has Sam Darnold headed back out there. And you get a look at the numbers, they don't even tell the whole story. This has been a tremendous performance to this point. This is 1st and 10. Darnold. throw out wide to Walker. And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line. Decent start to the drive there. Of course, they need the touchdown, 2-point conversion, and a field goal.
Yeah, those guys are into it. How about the guys on the sidelines? You see the coaches signaling, all the personnel groups up on the sideline, ready to go in and out of the game. They've got to condense their time now in order to try and get back into it.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. Here comes second down. They'll drop the throw. Throw left side, complete to Cup. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
All 3 timeouts remain, but they've got to score quick. It's 1st and 10. Darnold to throw. There's a short one caught by Arroyo. And he goes out right around the 39.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Gets this complete to Smith-Njigba. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
They'll come up 1st and 10 here. Here's Darnold. There's a short one caught by Arroyo. He'll get it to the 40. Broke a tackle there to get some extra yardage.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on 1st down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. They'll come up now on 2nd down. Darnold. And Walker has it.
Well, certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another 1st down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
2 timeouts remaining, but time is of the essence. Down 2 scores. It's 1st and 10. Smith-Njigba with the ground. Second down, 8 yards to go. Now Darnold. He finds his man, complete. It's Walker. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the 4th. Here now, 3rd down. To throw is Darnold. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down.
It certainly appears that he's been able to get a read on how they've wanted to contain him in this game. He's seen some places where he can beat them in big spots, and right there, he slides in with ease for the 1st down.
Here's 1st and 10. Here's Darnold. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game. Here's 2nd down. Here's Darnold. And he's got it. And he is into the end zone for the touchdown. So they still need a miracle with the clock where it's at, but they get one piece to the puzzle done.
Still have hope.
Coming from where they were, they knew this was going to be tough, but they got the touchdown. Now they need the miracle, the onside kick and a little extra.
Yeah, and you have to get the onside kick and not have the ball bounce around a lot and eat up time. You want to be able to grab it, possess it, and get your offense out there for what you just termed a miracle last chance.
So certainly some importance to this one now. After the touchdown, they could get this down to a field goal with a two-point conversion. Now Darnold. And now the pressure gets there, and he goes down. So he couldn't get rid of the football, and that deficit stays right where it is. So with 14 seconds on the clock, they've got to go with the onside kick. And the Saints are going to get to this one, so that should about do it. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though now this one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
The Saints in victory formation now as they'll take the knee. So this one a victory here for New Orleans. And it was a game where they were off and running in the first quarter, Charles, and never looked back.
You know, partner, after a while, we always say the same thing, don't we? They set the tone early, right? They started fast. So I asked a few of my horse racing friends, do you have a term for me that we can use to cover that? And they said, yeah. When a horse breaks out like that, you say he caught a flyer out of the gate. And that's exactly what this team did today. I mean, they jumped out there, jumped on them, and were never headed.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. From Seattle, so long, everybody.